All right, guys, this is Dan, and this is the newer laptop my dad gifted me in Pennsylvania, and I need to test it out and make sure the live stream on it functions properly. Okay, and it seems like it does. So, um, someone brought up an excellent point today, and it is the biggest mystery of all that we are facing regarding the memory glitches, the Mandela effect. Um, just one thing that pisses me off how incredibly underestimated it is in terms of it, how it completely alters a person's life and how it completely alters a person's mentality. It is a strain on their well-being. It almost feels like a relentless, never-ending form of psychological warfare, and it's very oppressive feeling. It is a very aggressive and oppressive feeling, and it is a huge source of depression for a lot of people in our position, I think, um, because I don't know what the percentage is of how many around the world have faced this. I mean, we could lump together, both the Mandela effect and sort of glitches together into one category. Because by glitches, I mean, there have been lots of people who said they've had personal things change in their life, as well as me and many others. And the biggest question of all, as I've stated many times before, is that, no real indication has been given to us as to why certain people see this and others don't. And I think just by placing categories of people into these are NPCs, that's why they don't see it, that is a cheap way of getting out of this. That doesn't explain anything to me. That doesn't mean anything to me, guys. What means something to me is that for whatever reason, there's a select group of people I personally think is between 1% and 5% of the human population, but that's probably generous. It's probably less than that, but it's still millions of people, regardless. It's still in the millions. So millions of people can be wrong. And these millions of people have almost the same things happen to them. And why are they seeing it and others are not? I know that there will come a time when we'll know the truth. But until that time, it just feels like this relentless drag of just like climbing up this difficult hill and like pushing that damn boulder up the hill relentlessly, nonstop. And it's frustrating and annoying. And it seems like the answer will never come. And I don't believe that, though. I can't live like that. I have to live with at least some hope. And if someone were to hear this who hasn't been through this, they would have no clue what the hell I'm talking about. So this is to the audience who understands what I'm saying. Kuvira, is she there every night? That's just really strange how you have these repetitive dreams consistently. That's definitely not a good sign, especially since I would consider them nightmares, not dreams. So there's something here in the Bible I want to read to you guys. And again, I'm going to be careful here because I'm not 100% certain if this is a Mandela effect. I know there's been a lot of Bible changes over the years. Ridiculous things like words like bottle and couch being added in there. Things that don't make any etymological sense in any translation. Okay. all the time. Wow. But this is really strange to me. This is a really strange passage. And of course, I have read the whole Bible before. I'm sure some of you have. I'm sure there's some of you here that know it better than me. And therefore, I would like your opinion on this more. So I'm going to read Luke 19:11. Great, there's a 9:11 in there. The parable of the 10 minas. While they were listening to this, he went on to tell them a parable because he was near Jerusalem, and the people thought that the kingdom of God was going to appear at once. He said, a man of noble birth went to a distant country to have himself appointed king and then to return. So he called 10 of his servants and gave them 10 minas. I think that's a form of currency. Put this money to work, he said, until I come back. But his subjects hated him and sent a delegation after him to say, we don't want this man to be our king. He was made our king, however, and returned home. Then he sent for the servants to whom he had given the money in order to find out what they had gained with it. The first one came and said, Sir, your mina has earned 10 more. Well done, my good servant. His master replied, because you have been trustworthy in a very small matter, take charge of 10 cities. The second came and said, Sir, your mina has earned 5 more. His master answered, you take charge of 5 cities. And then another servant came and said, Sir, here is your mina. I have kept it laid away in a piece of cloth. I was afraid of you because you are a hard man. You take out what you did not put in a reap. What did you not sow? His master replied, I will judge you by your own words, you wicked servant. You knew, did you, that I am a hard man, taking out what I did not put in and reaping what I did not sow? Why then didn't you put my money on deposit, so that when I came back, I could have collected it with interest? Then he said for those standing by, take his mina away from him and give it to the one who has 10. Sir, they said, he already has 10. He replied, I tell you that to everyone who has more will be given, but as for the one who has nothing, even what they have will be taken away. But those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me. So apparently the Mandela effect is this parable of the king is implying Jesus. Jesus is the king. And so these servants are bringing the fruits of their labor to their king, which is Jesus. And he said he's going to kill them or have them be killed in front of me. So the only time growing up I recall any sort of violence implied by Jesus in the Bible was there's only 2 instances that I recall. Just got on. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm reading a supposedly Mandela affected passage of the Bible where specifically 19:27 of Luke, where Jesus implies that he wants people to be killed in front of him. So he says, for those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me. So again, what I recall, he said, I came here to bring a sword, but not peace. That has always been in the Bible, as long as I can remember. And him, of course, being violent with the money changers at the temple. Those are the only 2 instances. The fact that the word kill alone would be in this is beyond strange to me. If this is why I'm doing this video, in the hopes for those who know the Bible better than me can perhaps give me some insight into this passage, because it doesn't sound right. It doesn't seem right. If the Bible isn't in fact being changed for the purposes of initiating the quote-unquote Antichrist, then this would make sense. Because for those who don't bow down to him, they'll be killed in front of them, right? So certain things like this to be changed would kind of make sense. But that passage sounds incredibly unnatural and strange to me. Yeah, right, Robert, exactly. Well, that's it, guys. Um, I shared the video related to this, or where I found this um, Mandela Effect. It's a really good channel called All Time, where he's updating relatively frequently newer Mandela effects, and it's really interesting. So there's some other ones that he talks about. Just check out the video, it's in the community post. But again, get back to me, guys, if you can.